Okay, I'm trying to share my screen. I don't know what's going on. Okay, yes, this is working. Okay, can you see my screen? Just let me know if you can see my screen.
No, it is still not visible for me.
Okay, okay. I think it's coming up now. You should be seeing it now. Good. Okay, I believe you can see it now. Oh yeah, thank you, Hasha. Hasha, it's nice to meet you. It's nice to see you again. So, guys, Tublian is an AI-powered developer platform. That is, we have tools that help make your developer journey and your developer life um, easy. It's on two phases. Our goal is to redefine how software is built. And currently on our platform, we have a lot of AI tools that you can use to make your developer life easy. Now, we are a company heavily focused on AI. A lot of the things that we are doing is around AI, and then we have we have like a very big vision of building a future where the way we build software is going to change, right? Where a single developer is going to be a solo corporation, shipping out heavy softwares at scale, softwares that scale, right? So, but then today, for today's demo, I'm just going to show you guys the important part of Tublian, right? So, and for me to do that, I need to sign into my I was signed in. I don't know how I got signed out. Okay, so um, we have a lot of tools that you can use to make your developer life easy, and some of these tools are tools like 80/20. So our 80/20 is a tool that helps you to learn as a developer. You can be able to learn any skill that you want to learn, and you can be able to learn it fast. That is the most important thing, and that's what our 80/20 is all about. But then that we can do. So now that my page is open, let's get into it. I think my internet is a bit slow. All right. So this is my Tublian dashboard. Everybody out of things that you can do. There is street cred. So this street cred is like a number that summarizes all your developer activity across all platforms. So once you create a Tublian account, you start tracking your activities, and then we assign a number to you based on your activities on the platform and even outside the platform. So what this means is that tomorrow you are trying to look for a job, you can easily say, "Oh, this is what my street cred number says," and this means that I have so and so level of experience as a developer. If you check our social media, if you follow us on social media, you're going to see that we demoed some of the top five highest street cred on Tublian. And if you look at their profile, you're going to see all the amazing works that they're doing, and you will be sure that, oh, these guys are doing amazing work. But anyway, let's go back to the three important tools that I want to show you guys today. The first one is Jobs Copilot. So Jobs Copilot, this tool, we've not really advertised it of late because we made some new changes to it. So, but this tool is a tool that helps you to look for job with just a prompt. So let's say for it, I'm looking for a JavaScript job. So let's say um, so when I start JavaScript jobs in Nigeria, it is going to give me JavaScript jobs in Nigeria, right? All the local JavaScript jobs that are around me, right? And you see, all the jobs are popped out here. Now, what happens is that I now have all these job openings and I can apply to any of them. So, how do I apply? If I click Explore with Copilot, it takes me to another page. So, this is the page, and this page gives me a detailed description of all the jobs that I've applied, detailed description of that particular job that I clicked on. You can see it has analyzed it and it has matched this particular job with my profile, and it's telling me if I'm qualified to do this job or not. Right? It's telling me I'm 10% match for this job. Probably because this job needs JavaScript and TypeScript, and then on my GitHub profile, it is not seeing me as a JavaScript developer. I've not written JavaScript in a very long time. So, in case you want to shoot a LinkedIn DM to these guys, to the company, you have a DM here, you have a LinkedIn message craft out for you, and it's personalized, with my name. with on it. And if I want a cover letter, there is a cover letter here for me to just copy and paste. So the AI is doing everything for you. So coming down here, this is interesting part. This is interesting part, guys. He has an interview questions, right, that I can ask and then just to prepare for my interview, right? And then also, you see, down here we are saying get job ready. So let's say I want to apply for this job. I can just click job prep roadmap, and then it's going to generate a learning curriculum for me to be able to learn and you know, be able to land that job. If let's say I want to learn, take some courses before I get into that job, this is where I do, this is where the magic happens. And now that brought me to the second tool I want to show you guys today, 8020. So this 8020 is a tool that you can use to generate roadmap on anything that you want to generate, right? So let me do this. This roadmap is, let me see. So it, but let me use this. Let me use this. This should work. So you see, I'm preparing for a technical interview job. This is job description, and then I write all my roadmap. And let me do something simpler. That will be easy to understand. Let's say yes, I want a technical interview focusing on JavaScript and front end. Once I input the prompt, and like this, I can also say I want to learn Python or teach me Python and Node, or say I want, but I now understand JavaScript. Can you teach me TypeScript? I can type in prompts like that, and it's going to generate a roadmap for me based on any prompt that I type in. So, okay, this thing keeps happening. Let me try another one. Sorry, these issues, you won't get it on your account. It's just my account that is giving me these issues. Okay. So guys, um okay. I don't know why this is not happening. Okay, so once you put in any course at all, this can generate courses on anything. So the last but not the least, which is why we are here today, open source. So on Tublian, you have a lot of tools that is going to make contributing to open source easy for you. Some people like Olive Christy, they were part of our open source internship, and they can tell you that making your first open source contribution with Tublian is one of the easiest way to get into open source, right? Open source is easy with Tublian. You can make your first contribution in less than 10 minutes, and you even have an open source course that you can take for free on the platform, and you learn all about open source. So um all you need to do is to come in here and you see make your first contribution. You just click on get started, and then you just go on to make your first open source contribution. And everything you do on Tublian, we are assigning you a street cred. There's a street cred score number for every activity that goes on here. Your recruiter might not know that you took a course on open source, but when you are registered on Tublian, you get to see all those things. So guys, my time is up. Maybe if we have more time at the end, we'll do more of this. Let me stop sharing my screen and let's get into why we are here for today. So today we are here for an open source masterclass by our very own Arindam. Arindam is someone I met on Twitter. I know we've been liking, commenting on each other's posts, and he has been on a few of Twitter, Tublian Twitter spaces in the past. And I really love the way he moves, right? I appreciate the work that he's doing in the DevRel space and also in the open source space, which is why I said, oh, Arindam, you need to come and do this masterclass for us. And we're very happy to have you here today, Arindam. So the floor is yours. You can introduce yourself and
Yeah,
get
sure.
started.
Thanks for the warm welcome, founder. Like it was like my pleasure to be here. And like if I want to talk about myself, like uh, every opportunities I got is from open source. So I am really grateful to open source. That's why I love to talk about open source. And yeah, so let's jump into the slides. Let me know if you can see my slides.
Not yet.
Uh, it should be visible. Okay. Let me try this again.
Yes, yes, it's live now. You can see it now.
Okay, I'm
Reputation.
trying this again. Uh, just- yeah, it should be lively. Yeah, is it visible now?
No, not yet.
Just give me a sec. I guess there is a small
I think
error
it's
from this.
coming now.
Okay,
Yes, yes, it's live now. Yeah, you can see it.
awesome. So, hey there, folks. Thanks a lot for joining this session. So, in this session, we'll be mostly discussing about the reputation in tech via open source. Right? Isn't it a tech, like interesting topic? I think you haven't like joined this kind of topics because this is an interesting topic what I learned from my journey. This is the all the my experience and whatever I learned from open source and how it helped me to get my jobs. Like it helped me to get my first internship and my first job as well. So I'll be sharing all my insights into this session. So stay tuned till the end. Okay, so before I move further, so who am I, right? So just give me a let me give you a brief introduction about myself. So I am Arindam, developer advocate at Pieces. So Pieces is a, developer productivity tool, and I'm also a technical writer with over like 100,000 viewers of my blogs. I'm also recently contributed to Next.js, and I'm an open source maintainer at Pieces, and I've previously maintained Deploy. And fun fact about me, I love to contribute to open source, and I love to help others get started with open source. So that's why I am here to help you out. Yeah. You can also find me online at bento.me/arindam. So yeah, now let's start the session, right? So why reputation is important, right? So you might be thinking, okay, I am working on my skills, I am preparing for coding interviews, I am preparing like DSA, or like I'm working on month stack, or like I'm building full stack projects. But why should I care about reputation, right? So that's for the simple reason, right? Yeah, it opens door for opportunities, right? As you can see in the slides here. So like the more reputation you will have, the more opportunities you are going to have, right? So we'll discuss in the further slides that how reputation can help you, get your first job, how to stand you apart from the crowd. So we'll be discussing those stuffs in the further slides. So let's see what like reputation gives to you. So it's basically establish credibility and trust within the industry you are looking for, right? In this case, we are discussing about tech, right? So if you have a good reputation, it's more likely that the founder or like the hiring manager will be hiring you, right? Because they have the trust on you, because you have that good reputation in you, right? It also increases the visibility, and like it gives you the chance to get potential collaborators, employers, and also clients as well. So like if I want to say about myself, like due to my visibility on Twitter or like other social media platforms and my work on GitHub, I got like many freelancing clients as well as some job opportunities as well. So reputation is pretty important, right? And last and not the least, a positive reputation can crucial component of your personal brand. If you in this world, like I feel in the current era where like there are million of developers, it's pretty important to make your brand, because with that can make you apart from the crowd. There are like millions of developers every day learning about like code, right? So if you want to stand out from the crowd, it is high time to for you to learn about these things. So just give me a second. Yeah. So next up, we'll be discussing about. Okay, so we have discussed about, right, what is reputation and how you can improve your reputation, right? So now I will be discussing about a formula of reputation that I have learned from a very big personality like Bruno Souza. So he taught me this formula, like how you can increase your reputation in tech. With that, like you can get more opportunities, right? So I will be sharing that formula with you. and we'll be explaining each of the components of this. So here is a formula of reputation. So might be like look like a mathematical formula for you all, but it's not a mathematical formula. It's a just simple representation of like how you can improve your reputation, right? So let me explain you the all the pointers mentioned here. So if you can see the pointers, I have marked few points as green and few are in red, right? So the green points are the ones that you have to do more in order to get higher reputation, right, in the tech industry. So the more the green pointers you will do, the more reputations will you have, right? And the red ones are the ones you should avoid doing in your tech journey, right? So the lesser you do these stuffs, the more reputation you will have. Okay, so now let's see what is in the points, right? So the first and foremost point is focus, right? Focus is the most important part, I feel, right? The more focus you have on doing something, that creates a reputation. Like, suppose, just let me tell you about, like, suppose I am a hiring manager and I see a person, he is much focused in his work. So it shows me the trust, like, okay, this person, he or she can do better work. Like if I hire him, he will be focused, he will be dedicated to work on that project that I will be hiring him for, or him or her for, right? So it creates a general reputation, a general, trust within you, if you are a focused person, right? And another part is, focus is not all about, like, I am focusing on a simple tech stack, or I am focusing on, suppose, learning JavaScript or just learning Python. Like, you have to focus on solving the problem, because if I want to say about the HR's perspective, they are not looking for the person who is only, able to code on JavaScript or Python or TypeScript, right? They are looking for a person who can, solve the problem that they have, or they can like improve the software, right? So that's the thing they are looking for. So you just have to think about that perspective. Okay, what they are hiring me for. So, and in order to that, you have to be focused on your work. You have to focus on problem solving rather than just, uh, focusing on the stack. So that's the important part to, like, notice as well. And the next part is visibility. That is pretty crucial nowadays. Like, that I have mentioned, like, there are almost like millions of developers, right? They are every year the competition is increasing, and it is very easy to get generalized. Like, there are almost 9 million Java developers, there are like millions of JavaScript developers, TypeScript developers. But how you can stand out from others, right? If you do some things that others are not doing, then you will be, in that top 1%, in that top 10%, where folks will recognize you by your name, right? Suppose, to how to get the visibility in from the crowd. So there are various way you can, get visibilities. If you are a content creator, suppose you are creating content, you are writing blogs, you are writing articles, right? You are creating videos around what you are learning, you are making projects, you are contributing to open source, you are active in the community, that creates a visibility. So if I say, like, all my, all the few offers I got, they are from just from my visibility, because I know the person, I know the hiring manager, so they gave me the offer. I got many freelancing opportunities just because of I know the, person who was in that company. So the visibility part is pretty important. So it is also comes with the connections, the networking part. As you are here, you have all the, introducing yourself, you will find some like-minded folks, you can collaborate with them, you can connect with them. It will also create the network, right? It all boosts your reputation, okay, in some other way. Okay, so that's the visibility part. And next, that is pretty crucial, that is action, right? So you are a focused person, you are a visible person, but if you don't have if you don't take actions, that won't work. Okay, so the main part is, if you are just saying things, if you are just advising others but not doing any actual work, it won't actually work. Like, folks will not believe on you. Okay, this person only gives, advices, but he doesn't take any actions. So in order to get the reputation, you have to, do some work. You have to act in a way like, okay, I am doing this work, after that I am saying these things, right? So like folks try to follow those people who have better reputation, who are better at taking actions, right? So it's always you have to keep in mind, instead of just giving advice or taking advice, you have to take actions as well. Suppose you are just having these sessions, you can have some actions item, like you can take some notes, you can share whatever you are learning in a mode of a article. Okay, that's the action item. If you just hear this session, you might forget what you have learned this in this session, right? If you take notes, in future you can create content around it. In future you can also take a session like this from your experience, right? So you can do various things. So but for that you have to take some actions. Okay, and the next part is skills. I don't think I have to mention much about skills, because it is the integral part of tech, right? We are working on tech, so we have to have some sort of skills. Okay, rather than if you are a good technical writer, you have to have a good writing skills. If you are working on a software developer, you have to have some skills on tech stack. So without the skills, you can also take the actions, right? In order to take actions, you have to have some sort of skills, right? So to and that builds the reputation. Suppose I am a very good Java developer, or I'm a very good JavaScript developer, that will create a reputation around the community. Okay, I am looking for a Java developer, I know this person is a pretty good Java developer, so what I will do, I will just reach out to him if you interested to work with me, right? So it increases your chances to collaborate or like getting opportunities. So the skills part is, I think you all know that it is the most important part as well. And the next part, that is giving. So what is a giving? So in order to be in tech, or not in tech, I would say, like in every industry, you have to be a giving person. So what a giving person is? Giving person is a some sort of person who helps others, who supports other. Like someone, suppose someone from your team is in like he's not able to do some work. If you can help him, if you can guide him, if you can suggest him something, that's that sort of person every company, every manager wants in his team, right? If you are a supporting person, they are like very likely they will gonna hire you, because you create say good positive vibes around the team, right? Because you always supports other, and it creates a good environment in the team. And I feel if you support other, they will also support you in you, like when you are in any problem. So that part is also important, right? So and the next part is responsibility. So responsibility is key, right? Suppose you are transitioning from a junior role to a senior role, then responsibility comes into the picture. They will see like how much responsibility you can take, how much work you can do, as how responsible are you. Suppose I am giving you a task and you are not working on that properly, so it won't work, right? It will create a negative impression or a like negative reputation around you, right? Okay, you are not responsible at all. So what you have to do is like whatever tasks you are doing, whatever tasks you are have, like just feel free to be responsible and do the work, like like with responsibility. It creates a genuine reputation about you. Okay, and the last and not the least, that is consistency. I guess like the problem everyone faces is like they do things for few days, and after a few days they just forgot, like, okay, I was doing these things and I am not getting any result, right? So we have to keep in mind that if you cannot get result in 2 days. Like suppose I am focused for 2 days, and in the third day I am thinking, okay, I was focused for 2 days but I didn't got any opportunities, so should I stop? I was active on socials but I didn't got any reach, so should I stop? So that's the problem. I took actions but I didn't get any result. So in order to get result, you have to do things consistently. So the more consistent person you are, the more likely, the more good reputation you will have. Suppose for instance, if you contribute daily to open source, will be some maintainers who will point you out, okay, this person always contribute to our like repository, and they will probably going to shout you out, and they will be like they will help you, they will guide you, they will provide some sort of help to you. So that creates a genuine reputation about you. Okay, how we are in the remote work culture, right? I cannot see you in person, you cannot see me in person. So the problem is you have to build the trust in the mind of the HR to, okay, that I am the like best fit person for this job. So for that you need a good reputation, and these are the factors that will make you a good person, like good reputed person, and which will increase your chances of getting jobs, right? So these are the things that if you do more, you will get more reputation, right? And now let's come to the points that we have to avoid. So the most important, the next part is me. Okay, so what is me? Like, you might have seen few folks who just only talk about themselves. Like, okay, I do these things, I do that thing, I achieve that, I achieve this, I am better than everyone, I am better at this, I am a good person. Like, I'm good than, like, better than everyone, right? So it generally creates a negative vibes, right? So the more self-boasting person you are, it creates a negative impression, a negative reputation around you, right? So it is very hard if you are a self-boasting person. So like folks will get the negative vibration from you, like, okay, this person is only talking about themselves, right? They are not you know giving you chance to say about yourself, right? So it is pretty hard to work with person. So that comes the next part, that is difficult. So you have to avoid being difficult person. So who is a difficult person? So a difficult person is a person who is hard to work with. Okay, so that comes to the point that if the person is always talking about themselves, that I am doing this, I know this, you don't know anything, who discourages others, who doesn't support, like who point out like others mistakes, they are the person difficult to work with. So you have to we always avoid those persons. If like you might have some friends that that is very hard to work with, and that's you can relate from your own experience that, okay, if I do these things, it creates a negative impression in the second person's mind, and it decreases your chances. Because just for instance, I have a friend in my university. So he is a very great developer. He's a pretty he have great skills, he has a very focused person, he takes actions as well. But he is a very difficult person to work with. Okay, see, he always self boasts about himself and his skills, right? So what I do is, like, if I have to work on any project, I like hardly go to him for collaboration, right? So it shows you that you can be a good skilled person, but you can be focused, but if you are doing these stuffs, right, only self boasting and being a difficult person, it will reduce your chances as well. So what you have to do is, like, have to be a giving person. You have to reduce these stuffs, you have to give others a chance to share about themselves, if they have anything to share, if they have anything to add, and always open for feedback, right? If I am doing anything wrong, you can point me out, and you can tell me what I'm doing wrong, then I can improve. So this is the correct culture every company, every team wants, right? So in order to be that, we have to reduce these steps. And the dangerous mistake everyone does, that's why I added the square here. So that is lie, saying lie. If you are saying lie to your team, to your manager, this completely destroys your reputation, right? Because all the points, if you do all the points and then you say lie, it destroys all the reputation that you have made from the beginning. Okay, it breaks the trust, right? If I'm saying a lie to you, and like, see, everyone can know what is the truth, because ultimately truth comes to the point, right? So if you say lie, and folks are going to know about that, then it will be huge problem for you. And it will be like, okay, this person says lie, I cannot trust this person, and it creates a huge negative impression among the among the your colleagues, your teammates, your manager, and it's a huge negative point. Okay, so I must recommend everyone to, like, if just recommend like remove these red points that are like try to avoid these red points and try to do more the green points that I mentioned: focus, visibility, action, giving person, and responsibility and consistency, right? So the more things you will do, the more reputation you will get. Okay, yeah. So till now, anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. uh, I guess there is no question, right? Yeah, I see one raised hand. You can ask a question. You can ask a question, I guess, if you have any question. Uh, okay, I see no questions here. Yeah,
There's
Josh, you
Josh.
can.
Yeah.
Hello, good
Yeah, you can.
afternoon.
Yeah,
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
yeah.
Hello, I'm Josh, and I'm a student and also a full stack software developer. I work around JavaScript and TypeScript too. I actually want to say I really enjoyed this session and I really learned a lot from this section too. Um, Actually, my should I say it's not sure. Well, it's kind of a question though. Like what advice will you give to someone who has been into programming for long now and hasn't actually been into open source, like been having a lot of difficulty, like engaging into open source.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know if
would
you get
say.
my question.
Yeah, sure, sure, sure. So you can use like that Tublian, uh, that Copilot thing, that for you can use that for finding open source issues, and we'll be diving deep into that, like how you can start contributing to open source, and like what are the prerequisites of that. So just stay tuned till that, and if you have any question regarding the things I have discussed till now, you can ask that. I will be discussing that thing in the end, right? No worries.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, sure. Awesome. Is there any other question?
No, for now,
Awesome.
I'm
Thanks.
okay. I'm good.
Awesome. And does anyone have any other questions? Okay, no worries. So let's jump into the next question, like next part. Sorry. Yeah. So now comes the point. We'll be discussing, right, how open source can improve your reputation. But before that, what is open source, right? I hope many of you know about open source, right? If anyone can just unmute yourself and say what you know about open source. What is open source according to you? You can just share if you anyone wants. You can just unmute yourself. Okay, no worries. Let me tell you. uh yeah, so open source is a software whose source code is made freely available to public, and anyone can view, use, modify, and distribute the software, right? So as the name suggests, the source code is open, but it has some limitation as well. Just to make a pointer to it, like it has some license. You cannot just copy paste any software's code and claim it to be yours. So there are some licenses, and you can just see the code, and you can use that for free, and you can also modify it, and you can uh, use that code to add to your software as well. So this is the basic intro of open source, and many of you have attended the open source course, so I guess you have some sort of basic understanding of open source. So now we'll be discussing how open source can helps, right? How open source can help you to build a good reputation. So in that case, I will share a story of mine. So I recently contributed to the Next.js, right? Many one of you have, like, if you are a JavaScript developer, you might have heard about Next.js. It's a like React framework by Vercel, right? It's a very trending framework, and I recently got a chance to contribute to this, and this was a great learning experience for me. Like, I found that there is a one issue that I can contribute to, and I jumped into it, and it was a learning experience. So I will share my learnings and how, it touched all the points that I've mentioned before. Okay, so at first, the main part is the focus part, right? So whenever I got the issue, I understood the point. Okay, I have to do these things, right? And what I did is, like, I went to the code base, and as you can understand, the Vercel code base, like, it is pretty intimidating. And as a beginner like me, it was very hard for me to understand. Okay, what is in the which folder? How to how to learn where to contribute. Like, it was first, the problem was for me is, like, I was not able to understand the project structure, where to contribute. Like, this is very huge, like there are too many test cases, how to pass them. So the approach I did was, like, I used pieces copilot. So this is a copilot for, just a copilot to help you out. And so I used that. I tried to explore the folders, I tried to understand the code, and wherever I was stuck, I just copied the code and pasted to pieces copilot. And I tried to understand, okay, this part of the code does these things, and this part of the code does these things. So it took me around 3 hours to basically point out which part I have to change. Okay, so that was pretty intimidating, overwhelming as well. So the part was, like, I tried to be focused, right? So if I just left the searching part, understanding part in 50 minutes, then I won't be able to contribute to that, right? So the thing is, open source teaches you to be focused. Whenever you are getting any issue, you have to be focused in order to contribute to that. Okay, so okay, so now you are focused. So now let's see the next point, how open source helps. So it gives you visibility. Okay, so here are a few screenshots that I got, like the responses from this contribution itself. So first one is from Lee Robinson. This is the like, he's the DevRel of Vercel itself. So I posted that, okay, I contributed to Next.js, it was a great journey, and all the stuffs. And Lee like commented on that post. So it gave me some sort of visibility, right? The next post is from Gabriel. He's one of my freelancing client. So he also DM'd me and wished me for the next year's contribution. And another one is Santosh. He's a GitHub star and Google developer expert. He also congratulated me for the contribution, right? So the thing I'm going to show you here is not the messages. The thing I'm trying to show you here is the recognition that I'm getting, the visibility I'm getting in the community, right? So like, if I won't be like contributing to this open source project, if I not, like, contribute to that project, I won't be getting this visibility. Like, folks will not know about the, okay, this guy contributed to Next.js, this is great contribution. And so I got some sort of visibility from that one contribution as well. That took me only 3 hours, right? That also, like, eventually gave me, like, I got 2 to 3 freelancing clients just from that like contribution. So that's the thing that give you the visibility from, like, stand apart from the crowd, right? And also, like, I was also contributing to some other open source projects. Like, in pieces there are some open source project, like some React projects, so I was contributing to that. And I implemented one endpoint on a search endpoint, so I got featured in uh, their newsletter, right? So that's also a visibility. And my issue, like GitHub issue, was tagged there. And then that gave me also a great opportunity, to get the visibility. And I like that part from, like, open source. Like, in every open source big open source culture, there are folks who always supports you, who always shout out to you if you are doing some great work. They do community shout out, they feature you on their post. And like in pieces we also try to implement that culture as well. Like in pieces we have our open source meet running live on YouTube, right? We bring our community members there. We try to help them, we try to help them, support them, we try to shout out them, we try to push them up. We try to help them in any way so that they can start contributing to open source. They can begin their journey from here. So this is one of the part of the visibility. And yeah, that's how it overall helps to get the visibility, right? And it also builds the trust as well. So action and skills, right? So as I told, in order to contribute to some projects you must have to gain some skills, because without the skills you cannot take actions, right? So the skills are the very fundamental stuff. So in order to contribute into open source, I'm not saying you have to have all the tech stack, technical knowledge. It is great to have, but if you are a technical writer, a good technical writing knowledge, or like how to frame things better, that will be a great addition to your skill set, right? And the actions, like without taking action, you cannot contribute to open source. You have to take some actions, right? Whether it is contributing to the documentation or like contributing to the tech stack, the tech part of the project, you need to take actions. And the more action you take, the more visibility you will give, the more focused person you will be, and it overall improves your reputation, right? So that's the part. Next, yeah, next, I would also want to share incident like while contributing that project. So how the open source community is teaches you to be a giving person, right? So when I was contributing to that project, I raised a PR. I had some issues with that, and there was another PR that solved the issue, but that has some other issues, right? So what Lee does is like he mentioned that if we can combine the PRs, and I was the first time contributor there. So the other persons, they are previously contributed to Next.js. So what they did is like they closed their pull request and they collaborated with me, right? As you can see here, they collaborated with me and they helped me out to fix some of the issues that my peer was having. They helped me to write some test cases as well. And like three of us collaborated and made that issue, like made that peer relevant, and finally it got merged. So it teaches us like how to be a giving person. Like if you see the bigger communities, they always fosters the newbies, the first time contributors, right? They always try to help out, they try to support, they help you to motivate you to uh, do this work. We will help you, you can take one step, they will help you to push another 10 steps, right? So that's a fun, like great incident I learned from the this contribution, right? So yeah, another, the next point is open source makes you responsible, right? So when you are contributing to some projects, right, suppose you are assigned one issue, so you are responsible to that. So it teaches you to be responsible, right? So you are dedicatedly working on that issue. So it shows that you are responsible. Suppose if you are working on an issue, you are daily commenting on that, sharing your updates, like okay, I am implementing this feature today, I made this change, I got these errors, but I'm still trying. Okay, so that creates a genuine feeling that okay, this person who is really interested in working with us. So in future, if I have some job openings, I will reach out to you if you are daily contributing to our repositories, and if you are making some good valuable changes, right? So that creates the reputation of you, that creates a brand, right? Then next part is consistency, right? So GitHub has a great feature. Like if you contribute to GitHub, like if you push some code to GitHub, you will get some green squares. It shows like how consistent you are. So this picture is my GitHub, GitHub star graph. So you can say that I am like I try to be consistent nowadays. So it helps you keep track of that, like how you are how consistent you are, which repositories are you contributing to. So for instance, like say if someone is going through your GitHub repo, Okay, in your readme, they will see, okay, this person has contributed to this repos, and in the like last 6 months, they have made some good contributions. They have been like making some consistent contribution. So it shows that, okay, this person is consistent. So he has the general, understanding of the tech stack. He is adding value. So it genuinely creates a reputation of yours, right? So that's the best part of open source, right? uh, yeah. Next, when you are contributing to open source, you are bound to be a easier person to collaborate with. It teaches you to be, humble. It teaches you to be, easy to work with person. So it boils down to that point. Like, okay, if you are a difficult person, you start contributing to open source, you will gradually become a easier to work with person, right? Because the culture, the main soul of open source is collaboration, right? uh, in that context, I have a quote from Eddie. So Eddie is a open source guy. Like, he always shares some great insights about open source. I highly recommend checking out Eddie's content. So Eddie says, collaboration first, code second, right? So that's the main point. If you are contributing to open source, you might not know what is how to code, but if you are collaborative enough, you will get chances to collaborate, right? If you are a technical writer, there are huge chances. If you are a UI UX designer, there are great chances for you, right? So the important part is you have to be ready to collaborate with others, right? So these are the points. So okay, we know till now how open source helps. So you might have still questions like, why to contribute, right? So the answer is pretty simple. Because it is, a golden opportunity for you, as the GIF suggests, because it gives you a whole package that will build your reputation, also skills as well, right? So the open source gives you the whole package of things. It will improve you overall. So that's the reason you should contribute, and you should at least invest some sort of time of yours contributing to open source, so that it will, in the longer term, it will pay you in a big amount, right? So now comes that question. What are the prerequisites? Do I have to learn JavaScript? Do I have to learn TypeScript? I don't know. I don't know much about Python. I don't know much about JavaScript. Can I contribute? Yes. Open source is for everyone. You might not know one tech stack. You might not know one technology. But what you can contribute in different ways. You can be a you can be a great technical writer. You can write content around it. You can improve the README. You can improve the docs as well. You can be a great UI UX designer. You can improve the UI layout of the project. You can create some art explaining the project. You can create some diagrams. So there are many ways that you can contribute to open source, and those are not only about code. There are many non-code contribution that you can do in order to start contributing, and those contributions are also valuable, same value as the code contributions, right? That's why I mentioned code second, collaboration is the first part of open source. Okay, so doesn't matter from which background you are from, doesn't matter like how much code you know. It is always better to know some sort of code, but you can start from very beginning, right? Yeah. So now comes that point that some of you have some questions. How to find projects, right? So as Precious mentioned, you can check this one, open source, to check how which projects you can contribute to. I was yesterday searching for some AI projects to contribute to, and found some cool ones. And I am now diving deep into those projects, and seeing if there are any chance to contribute to that. Right. So I must recommend you to just go to this link and just start working on this. Right. It's a great platform to check. And yeah, so till now we discussed what is open source, how it helps to build your reputation, why to build reputation, and all of the stuff, right? So we have the theoretical part. Okay, what you know, what you have to do, the prerequisites, all the stuff, right? Now what's next? What's the action item from it? what you can do, right? So I mentioned that actions items are the very important part. So one action item I can take, like say you that you, if you have taken some notes, if you love the session, you can take a screenshot of this. If you can take a screenshot of this, you can share on your socials. You can tag me, you can tag Tublian, and you can just make a post what your learnings. That you will also create your visibility, that okay, this person is learning about this stuff, right? So there are numerous chance of creating be visible in the online space. So you can also do that. So another thing, yeah, if you want to contribute to open source, in pieces we have several open source projects in Python, in JavaScript, TypeScript, React, Next.js as well. So if you are comfortable with any of this, you can check out pieces slash open source, and you will get all the open source projects, and you will be able to contribute to that as well. Okay. Next, if you are a React and TypeScript developer, I would recommend contribute to one of our project, that is example TypeScript. This project is pretty close to my heart, because I like contributed a lot to this project. Like you can see me in the contributors list as well, and now I am a maintainer of this project. So I saw the project growing from very beginner, and like I was a contributor, and from that I am a maintainer of this project now. So I like, you can start working on this. I have created some good first issues. There are 24 issues there. You can just comment on some of them, and I will get you assigned that. And if you have any question regarding that, you are not able to set up the project, you have some issues regarding that, just feel free to join our Discord. I will be sharing the links, and you can I will be helping you out, right? And if you need any sort of help, if you are not getting the point, I will be more than happy to jump on a call and giving you a small demo of the project as well. Okay, so that's the part. And next, pretty important, that is like, okay, I have contributing to open source, I have built my reputation. So what's next? I have contributed to open source. The next part is finding jobs, right? For that, like, Tublian is great platform. You can just find the jobs copilot, and you can just find the jobs that Precious already demoed you, right? So you can just go through that, you can apply. These are the features are too cool, and I like insist you to check those out, and it will be a great addition to your skill sets as well. So yeah, and now comes to the Q&A part. So if you have any questions till now, feel free to ask now. Feel free to raise your hand and ask a question. Okay.
All right, guys. Okay, yeah, Tochuku, you have a question. You can go on and ask the question.
Yeah. Feel free to ask a question.
All right. Okay. All right. My greetings to everyone. My name is Emmanuel Tochukwu. So, my question is on the open source. So, the first time I heard about open source, I was really confused. So when I wanted to try it out, when I even got to because I did some a little bit research on internet. So when I approached the stuff, I was really confused. I don't even know how to go about it. So my question is that how do beginners in this open source, what kind of mindset do we approach this open source software with? Like, how do we approach it? Because I think the mentality matters most when approaching something. That's my question.
Yeah, that's a great question. Like, what I would recommend you whenever you are contributing to open source, right? The first thing is you have to go through the README. So every project has a README. That's a basic, that's a introduction to that project. That's a first step, right? You have to understand what is the project, what it does, how it works, right? And try to clone that project and set up that project locally. Those steps will be mentioned in the README. Yeah, every big project has a good readme, and you can just go through that readme, follow just copy paste the commands, and it will be just simple steps for you to set up that project. And then just just run that app, and if you find some issues, some button is not working, right? Some places is not working, the backend is not responding. Just create a issue. In fact, creating an issue is also a contribution, right? It also enhances the project, right? So you can also create some issues if you found some. And if you have some skill sets, like if you have the knowledge regarding the project, if you know React and you are contributing to that, you can, you know add the project. You can comment on the issue that let me assign this thing, I can work on that, and you can start working on that. And if you are stuck anywhere, I would recommend you, just join the community. Every community, like big projects, have open source communities, like, uh, either on Slack or in Discord, they have some communities, and you can just join them and, you know join them and ask a question and open, like publicly. Like suppose my app is not working there, I tried to implement this endpoint but that broke the code, then there will be must be some folks that will help you out, right? So yeah, that's you can try this out. I also tried this method and it worked pretty well for me. Yeah.
All right. Okay, I think I saw another hand. Is there any other person with another question? Any other question? Hi, Pavan.
Hi, hi Arindam. Myself
Hi.
Pavan. Basically, I'm following your blogs or tweets about the tech blogs from last few months. I really enjoyed your content. It's very fascinating. So my question is like, so when you self a beginner, how can we understand? Some projects are very difficult to understand, to contribute or something. After following the instructions from README also, you can, for beginners, it's very difficult to understand, right? So how to overcome that? So if we know for contributing, do we have to really, master the some sort of skill like React or something? You know, do we really have to master the skill or something?
Yeah. So I completely got your point. I was also been there. So the problem is, you don't have to master any tech. You don't have to be a master of React in order to contribute to a React project. But I would recommend, the more knowledge you will have around React, that will help you to contribute to that. Because if you know React, then you will understand, okay, this hook is doing this, this use state hook is used to be doing this, right? You will understand the code, right? Either ways, if you can, now it is the like age of AI, right? You can use pieces copilot. You can just copy the code and just put it there, and it will be able to, explain all the code what it does, right? But it is always recommended to, have some sort of understanding of the tech stack, if not all. Suppose, let me just clarify this thing. Suppose a project has React, Tailwind, TypeScript, and some other backend stuff, right? But you know only Tailwind and React. Okay, so that's pretty good. You can still contribute to that. What you have to do, you have to find the parts that you can contribute. If the issue mentions there is a styling issue, you can contribute there from the Tailwind perspective. If it has some, some hook, some React hooks is not working, you can go there and add some small change, right? That's also a valuable addition because that improves the project. So in my opinion, you don't have to know everything, but it is always better to have some knowledge of the tech stacks, right? Like if the project uses 3 4 tech stacks, try to know one or two. That will help you. The more knowledge you will have, the more easier it will be for you to contribute to that.
Yes, thanks. I really understand that. Thanks for
Yeah.
answering.
Awesome.
All right. So I don't know. Do we have any other question? All right.
Yeah, I guess there
So
is another question from
okay.
Harsha.
Okay,
Yeah,
Harsha, do
so
you have
he has written that how reputation can be a key to have a successful career using open source. Okay. Yeah. Okay, no. So it is not a question. Yeah, thanks.
yeah, it is
Thanks,
not a
Harsha.
question, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. everyone. Can we use reaction to put our hands together for Arindam? Can we? Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's keep reacting. Yeah, thank you very much, Arindam. Thank you very much for agreeing to do this. Really appreciate. Um, am I seeing a hand? Yeah, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Michael. Thank you,
Thanks.
Shaduri. Yeah, thank you, everyone. Really appreciate that. All
Yeah.
right. So, guys, part of how to start. So, we're talking about gaining reputation in open source. You can actually start today. You can start now on this call. You can take a screenshot of your screen. Let me show my face so that when you take the screenshot, my face will be there. So you can take a screenshot of this session and you can make a post on Twitter. You can tag me. You can tag Arindam. You can tag Tublian. Just tag Tublian, and then these are things that help people know that, oh, okay, I attended this space today on open source, and these are the things that I learned. This is the formula that Arindam taught us, and it was a great session. When you put things like this out there, it helps you to build your reputation, and then people get to see you and see that, oh, you're making efforts and you are trying to get into the space and you're dropping something that is valuable, because people want value and they will always exchange either their contacts or anything that they have, they will always exchange it for value. So as we are here, if you can show your face, guys, and then I want everyone to take a screenshot. So you can go on and take a screenshot. Let's do a hand sign. Yeah, so that we. Hi, Arindam, do you mind doing this? Okay, good, guys. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of cameras. Yeah, so let's go. Yep, yep, yep. Yeah, yes. So you can take a screenshot, make a post on social media, and then just tell people that, oh, I attended this session and I learned these things. Just talk about it. It helps you to build your reputation, and it is important that you do that. So also, if you want to make your first open source contribution, I dropped a link in the chat box. You can just link to check it out, make your open source contribution. Arindam also dropped a link to the project that he said is very dear to his heart. You can also check that project out and make some contributions to it. Follow Tublian on social media. We have our community. You can also join our community on Discord. Our community is on Discord. We have a lot of people who are very passionate about open source, who are passionate about um we have a lot of people in our community, and you will enjoy our community if you join. And then also we have a lot of activities in our community, and we have people coming to talk about different things. You have any question about on open source contribution, on your job search, anything at all, you can ask in our community. Someone will be glad to help you. I just dropped the link to join our community on Discord in the chat box. So if you check it out, you can join our community on Discord. You can follow us on social media, all social media platforms at Tublian. So Tublian. So thank you very much everyone for attending. For the next session, we are going to have another session next week. We call it the community call session. So it is someone from our community. We give opportunity to everyone, people from our community, to come and talk to us. So let's say you are learning JavaScript and you want to, when you talk about these things, you learn more, right? So you're learning JavaScript and you want to talk about it. We have a platform where you can just come and talk about what you are learning. You can decide to teach how to do DOM manipulation in JavaScript. You can come to decide, you can decide to do functions in JavaScript. Any topic at all is welcome. So if you are here, you want to teach in our community call, you can just give me join our community, then just drop a message on the general or anywhere. I will send you a DM on Discord, and then we'll make that happen. So next week we'll be having one of our community members come to talk to us about a particular topic. That will be announced on social media. So if you see us, you can also see that. Then we are going to record these sessions, even the community call sessions. We record them and we'll put them out on YouTube, we put them out on different platforms just to make sure we give our community members visibility. So if you are looking for visibility, we have over 10, I think more than 50,000 views on YouTube. And Arindam course is going to be up there, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to get value from this, and they are going to, love the session, and it's going to get a lot of views also. So we are going to push it. We're all for helping developers 10x their career, helping you gain visibility in your field and anything that you are doing. So guys, we're happy to be here. I hope to see you make success in the developer journey, and sign up on Tublian if you haven't, join our community if you haven't, and see you at the top. Thank you very much, Arindam. Thank you very much for doing this. I really appreciate, man.